Thank you very much for having me tonight. I feel very honored that there is interest in my work in California. Unfortunately, right now it is 3 a.m. here in Germany, so I cannot guarantee you a good talk. So I decided to pre-record my speech and to go to sleep. I hope you don't mind watching a video that is only a few hours old. Of course, I will also record the entire meeting and watch it tomorrow. So first of all, don't worry if you have problems pronouncing my surname. My family comes from Poland. Oczko is the Polish word for small eye. Apooga Stereo stands for binocular vision. Being an architect, I learned how to design buildings in two-dimensional drawings. You have plans, then you draw elevations, and sections that try to implement depth with shadows. But at a certain time, there is no other way but checking your work in three-dimensional space. Making physical models is still the only way to prove your design in physical space and under real light conditions. But there is one big problem. A normal photograph of a model or even of a ready-built house just cannot represent spatial qualities in an adequate way. This is how I came to stereoscopy. Only 3D photography can show the depth of architectural space. So I started capturing light and space. This is the Munich Orangery by Ludwig von Sckell from 1816. There is this characteristic half vault and big windows facing the south. Sunlight is filtered by the reed blinds. It creates this beautiful, delicate, soft atmosphere. So I made a model out of cardboard to better understand this place. It was designed to be photographed from one side only. But with real sunlight, I was able to reproduce the mood of this space. I made this model to determine how it would be to live in this orangery. After that, I made a small series of stereo images, in which small-scale furniture made nature inhabitable. Back then, I made these pictures with one single camera on a slider, struggling with the wind in the leaves. At the same time, I've made my first Kaiser panorama or Photoplasticone for an exhibition at art school. Visitors could view 8 stereo pairs enlarged on photographic paper. The white umbrella was a good diffuser for natural light. To study the physics of light, I started to build my first stereo cameras. This one is made with slits, generating abstract but spatial images. The first stereo pair I took doesn't have a lot of depth, but reminds me of the view out of the window by Joseph Nicephore Niepce, the first photograph ever taken. I learned to appreciate the texture of analog grain. Then I exchanged the slits for self-made pinholes. After that, I bought 2 lenses with shutters on eBay to construct a camera with the focusing mechanism. Unfortunately, I've developed only one single roll of film before this camera burned in a fire. So I didn't have the chance to eliminate the light leaks and to optimize the focusing. In this stereo pair, there is this interesting 3D light leak grid in front of my bicycle. So before I could get another pair of these lenses, I tested this old camera. It is an Aqua Isolar from the 1930s, making excellent photos. So I mounted it on a slider to make sequential stereos. This is a collage made with the same single camera moved sideways. The pictures made with the Isolar have this crazy long format, originally designed to be 9 by 11 centimeters. Finally, I gathered all the elements to construct Metopa Stereo. Large format lenses, 2 ground glasses, Mamiya film cartridges, and an adjustable Y cable release. Metopa Stereo is a 3D bellows camera that allows independent movement of any of its elements. Convergent shift saves film while framing stereo pairs. By rising the lenses or the film plane, keystoning can be eliminated in architecture photography. The only deficit is a minimal stereo base of about 12 centimeters. The graph lock packs allow to attach the ground glasses, the viewfinders, and the medium format film cartridges. The cable release was adjusted by analyzing recorded sound waves on the computer screen. This way I could achieve quite good synchronization. All the pictures taken with Metopa Stereo have a 6x7 portrait format, which I really like for stereos. Then I went digital. After some rather disappointing experiences with the Fuji W3, I wanted something more professional. So I took two full-frame cameras and mounted them on a slider. The mirrorless bodies and the interchangeable lenses allow a stereo base of about 7 up to 40 centimeters. Only the shutter is synchronized by a cable release. All other settings need to be done twice. This project was the first one I photographed in digital 3D. It is the graduation work of Christian Blank. He made a real-scale model of an entire room out of cardboard. With this camera I did also some commission work for architects. This amazing house with an internal concrete staircase is the work of NF Architekten. After some time I connected the two cameras in a more compact way. With the two display loops attached, I can even preview with stereo vision. I know today's theme is reflections. I was too late to contribute to the competition, so I just will show you some of my examples. The resolution of the images is incredibly high, but I still needed to find an adequate way to view them in 3D. So I bought an old Carl Zeiss mirror stereoscope for aerial photography with good optics and placed two iPads beneath. This stereoscope gave me the best 3D I've ever seen. The resolution of the retina screen is doubled and shows pin-sharp images with brilliant depth of space. Imagine the quality of backlit medium format stereo slides, but mixed with digital accuracy. No distortion, no grain, no pixels, just illuminated vibrant colors. But the two iPads were not synchronized. So I've also developed an easy-to-use app for mobile devices. It can display stereo slideshows in variable speeds and is also suitable for high-resolution tablets. This is the 3D menu. The app is currently offline and is waiting for a relaunch. I envision a curated platform featuring ambitious stereographers. Then I designed a small stereoscope called Apooga Stereo. It is cut out of cardboard with a knife by a big machine. The entire set, including good quality acrylic lenses, can be shipped in a small envelope. You can insert your smartphone, but also view stereo cards. I used to enlarge my stereos on glossy photographic paper in a traditional photo lab. This way there is no raster from a printer. But preferably I construct things in a different way. Paint-coated MDF, a wooden composite material, is laser cut into high precision pieces. It allows me to construct lightweight but stable 3D equipment. So this is Emulsion Stereo, a simple but versatile stereoscope. First of all, you can view stereo slide pairs in front of a diffuser screen. For me it is quite special to know that this is a completely analog process. You will view the exact piece of film that was exposed inside your camera. I provide special MDF slide mounts in different formats, but you can also use existing MF3D or RBT 35mm mounts. Whereas when you photograph on negative film or with a digital camera, you have the possibility to insert your smartphone. Then of course you can benefit from existing apps for auto alignment. For non-illuminated stereo cards you can detach the glasses to get a lorgnette style viewer. The same way I constructed Minota Stereo, a stereoscopic pinhole camera that is currently live on Kickstarter. This camera wants to make stereoscopy accessible to more stereographers so that anyone can easily try out 3D photography. It is the archetype camera doubled to be binocular. So on the front you see the two pinholes opened by pulling the shutter sideways. In the lower part you see the magnetic security lock preventing accidental exposures, and a small window indicated that it is unlocked. On the back you can see the small magnetic window for advancing medium format film, the ISO and click indicator, and the aimer that can be exchanged for one of the viewfinders. I am proud to say that this is my first commercial project and the laser will be powered by green electricity only. Minota Stereo has a human eye distance with a tiny convergence shift. The eye patch allows 2D photography but also sequential macros or hyper stereos. Inside the camera body I tried to minimize internal reflections. You can use the bigger square mask for medium format film. Note that the pinholes are in the upper third of the frame, so in this orientation you will have the horizon at the lower part of your final image. When you load 35mm film with this mask, you will get a panoramic format. But you can also exchange the mask to get interlaced pairs on 35mm film. Now the rise of 1/3 is optional, so you can also use Minota Stereo as a normal point-and-shoot camera with the horizon in the center of your frame. Here you can see an overview of the 8 formats you can produce. The rise and fall option determines the composition of the frame without tilting the camera. No keystarting will occur, even while photographing upwards or downwards. Minota Stereo has a second tripod mount on its top. If you want to fall by 1/3, you need to turn the entire camera upside down. There are different viewfinders for each of the formats. To get the correct angle of view, you need to align the 3 beads inside the 3 holes. Only then your eye has the correct distance to the camera. For correct advancing of 35mm film, there's a clicker that will indicate by sound how far to wind. Minota Stereo is available as a DIY construction kit or ready built. As the most important part, I give special attention to the pinholes. Every single pinhole is drilled under a microscope and has a diameter of 0.2 mm. The brass foil is 25 micrometers thick and gets burnished afterwards. So this is what you will get. Pairs on medium format and 35mm film are exposed with orientation marks. I actually think about removing them because they tend to be annoying when viewing the raw scans. Analog film is definitely back. Kodak is producing Ektachrome again. There is even a new kit from Cinestill that allows you to develop color reversal film yourself. So in the center you can see a new film by a brand called Adox. The Scala developing process will turn it into beautiful black and white slides. But of course you can also expose negative film and digitize it afterwards. As with any other stereo camera, first you will get inverse 3D. Only after switching the left and right images you will get correct stereo pairs. So this is the square format with medium format film. Note that the horizon is at the lower third of the frame. The pinholes have a decent quality. This is a negative film from Lomography with quite crazy colors. This picture I made while riding my bike. It is Fuji Velvia in a format which I used to call square, which is after cropping the sprocket holes. Some unexpected things happen and turn out so beautiful. Again, negative film. Another zoom in. And the panoramic format. To take pictures with Minota Stereo, I used this basic equipment: a light meter, an exposure calculator, a stopwatch, and of course a tripod. Of course, you can also generate wiggle GIFs. So if you like what you've seen so far and you want me to keep on developing 3D equipment for stereographers, please consider supporting me on Kickstarter. I want to say goodbye by showing you the campaign video. I'm sorry I cannot answer your questions right after this talk, but please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.